Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, I'm playing the Amaz deck. The deck that I said it was trash, I hated it, but of course, every time I hate a deck, I have to try it myself. Right? I have to fully understand why, people like it, and I want to also showcase why I think it's so bad. So I played this deck today. It's the Orzhov Blink deck that hopes to Hopeless Nightmare and Blinking the Nurturing Fairy. And Blinking it with Nurturing Fairy, it's got removal and Tithing Blade that we can blink with the Guardian of Ghirapur. It's also have a lot of small chump like tokens or Hopeless Nightmare. We can sack to the right of Oblivion to kill our opponent's creatures. So if you look at it on the surface, right, if you think about it, there are synergies in the deck, and so it's not that bad of a deck when you look at the synergy, when you look at the combo. What I hate about this deck is that it's a Hearthstone deck. Everything is sorcery. You play everything sorcery speed, and you don't interact with your opponent. On their turn, you just let them do their thing, and then you try to do your thing. That's not how Magic works, and that is why I feel like it's bad. But first, let's talk about the deck, and then we'll see the games. So, it's got a bunch of 1-drops. It got 4 Novice Inspector, 3 Nurturing Fairies, 4 Hopeless Nightmare, 1 Duress. Those are our 1-drops that we want to play, right? So, of course, you definitely don't want to... The Fairy you don't want to play turn 1, right? So, everything else you want to play turn 1. So, you got 9 1-drops you can play on turn 1. That's pretty good. And then turn 2, you want to play Fairy to bounce, probably your Hopeless Nightmare, to play it back out again, so you make your opponent discard 2 cards. That's the dream, right? You make your opponent discard 2 cards, you have a Nightmare and a 2/2 Pixie on the board. That would be a very good combo in the early game. Then in turn 2, or with the 2-drop, we have 4 Tithing Blade to make our opponent sacrifice a creature, and then 3 Right of Oblivion. We have a lot of things to sack. We can sack to the Right of Oblivion to make our opponent exile a permanent our opponent controls. So we got turn 1, very good tempo card, and into turn 2 removal. Ideally, that's not that bad. Turn 3, we got Guardian of Ghirapur to bounce or flicker one of our good cards, like a Novice Inspector, a Nurturing Fairy, or a Tithing Blade. Definitely, the Tithing Blade is the go-to flicker target for Guardian of Ghirapur, so that we can make our opponent sack another creature. Basically, it'll be a 3-mana ETB, our opponent sack a creature. That's not that bad. 3-mana 3/3 flyer. And then we also have 3 temporary lockdown against Boros or aggro, 2 Braids to continuous draw cards, and 2 Liliana to hit our opponent, right? Force our opponent to keep doing things. And then in the turn 4, we have 4 Hostile Investigator. I went and crafted this card for this deck. Stupid wizards in there. You gotta get Mythic from your Votes card. It's so hard to get. Alright, so I had to go craft Hostile Investigator just to try out this deck. Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. 1 Shieldred, of course, to tempo our opponent out with the life gain and burn our opponent's draw, and then 2 Avarice, not 4, 2 Avarice to draw 3 cards or search for a card from our deck with 3 mana, or you do both for 5 mana, right? So that's the whole idea. And for some reason, the deck is pretty greedy, so it only has 23 lands, not 24. We might get mana screwed because of that. But we have 1 Eiganjo, 1 Takenuma, 2 Planks, 2 Swamps, 4 Caves of Koilos, 4 Concealed Courtyard, 4 Restless Fortress, 4 Shatter Sanctum, 1 Field of Ruins. Right, so that's the whole idea of the deck. It's pretty... I don't want to say it's standard, but it's pretty played out. I think everybody already knows how this deck plays out since you played against it so often in Arena, and a lot of people seem to like it. I hate it. All right, well, let's go see the games, and I'll talk about it after the games. All right, our opponent is Sayojin. Kamigawa is about to rotate out. All right, all tap lands. Fairy into Avarice. Opponent goes first again. Can I keep this hand? No. Probably not, right? No play turn 1, no play turn 2. Yeah, I can't keep that. I can keep this. Put back a lockdown? I don't like that. Put back an investigator, that's my only value card. Kinda have to. Right? I could put back a land, but then I have no guarantee of drawing a 3rd land. I don't like it, but I guess I'll have to do. Okay. Probably take my lockdown. I mean, the blade is also pretty good, right? He takes the blade. Novice Inspector. Golgari. Alright, opening on turn 1 Duress with Golgari. Yep. Let's go for an attack first, I guess. He's gonna kill a Novice Inspector. He is gonna kill a Novice Inspector. You got it backed. Don't really have that many good cards. Okay. Take one of my fairy. I get shielded. Not very useful here. Do we start the lockdown? I mean, if I lock this down, right? You know what? It's fine. Lockdown's not very useful against Golgari. Oh, no cards, huh? I mean, that's not very good. We need cards to play this game. He's got go for the throw. Sentinel, alright, so we went from no cards to advantage. What do we do here? Do I want to search for a card? I mean, I could search for a card and then it would just probably get picked out. Still, I think it's pretty good. What do I want to search for here? Probably the blade. Right? I get to play the blade several times. Against Golgari deck, it will be pretty impactful. It's gonna hurt a lot. He gets 4 lands. Oh man. And then he gets 2 tokens. Is he gonna play a Shieldred? Oh, and here's a Shieldred. I blaze you first. Sack the Sentinel, of course. Now I could Pixie and blade it again, right? Is that better than Liliana? Oh no, he can't really kill the Liliana right now.
Something suspicious is going on. And for one, haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Sacrifice a creature. Really? Yeah. Did he not know that was gonna happen? I take out, go for the throw. I can also take out a cut down.
You won't be outsmarting me.
I might have been better to pitch the blade. Because the fairy can bounce a blade. GG, I guess. You stupid Golgari deck. No match for the amazing Amaz. Like, I don't know. It's just we got lucky. Alright, our opponent is the Ninja Master. Cool. We're gonna go first. Tap, untap lands going first. That's a first. I never thought this would happen. Not with this deck. Kumano. Okay. I am afraid of the Kumano. But a nightmare is a nightmare. Can't say no to that. Just plays the show off? Wow, okay. What do I do here? I can lock everything down, but there's more stuff on my board than on his board. So, what I want to do is probably sack the Nightmare. Yeah. Restless Fortress, double Restless Fortress. I want to draw one, not both. But then I'll lose all my clues. Yeah, no time for clues in this deck against red. Gonna show off. Gotta do it. Shocks one. Oh, that's fine. Totally fine with me. Totally a fair game we're playing. Nothing? Well, something's gonna happen to you if you don't play anything. So I'm gonna investigate. Probably just gonna kill the investigator in response. No! Okay, I guess he doesn't know how to play. Maybe he still has a lightning strike? No, just double play with fire. Get me to 10. Wow, triple play with fire. Yeah, sure. Keep his Kumano. Give me to 7. I can lock down his Kumano, but is that worth it? Is that worth it? Maybe I just Liliana.
Enough with the mysteries. I've come.
Discard my lockdown. Get a clue.
We all have things we'd rather.
Hold up for a blocker against haste. I gotta not die, right? Okay. Well, I can draw a card. What am I doing here? If I draw a card, what am I bouncing? Gotta bounce a non-land permanent, right? Really don't have much to bounce. Ensures the battlefield return up to one target non-fairy, non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If a permanent is returned this way, well, I have to. So, yeah, if I had extra land, I would have bounced the temporary lockdown. No, I would take an extra damage for that. All right, so
don't
turn that into a clue.
Things.
I still need to block with Kumano. Oh, yeah, actually, I can't block with Kumano. But hey, you know, not dead. So you want to attack Lily? No, he attacks my face. I don't think I'm dead, right? I'm at 1? Yes. Not dead. I draw a land. I draw another land. He draws a card. Yeah, he draws a card. I go to 3. I can only hope that the card he draws is not crazy. Kumano?
Do not touch me again.
Down to 2. Discard a card.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Am I negotiating this turn? I'm not negotiating this turn. So let's go to 4. Ha! Take that. Stupid burn deck. Got through. Alright, our opponent is Banshore. The opponent goes first. Sort of have the opener, but opponent goes first, so that opener goes away very quickly here. What can I do? I'm not sure. Nightmare him first. Always nightmare first if you can. Wow. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. So it's probably playing the same version of this deck. There's Orzhov, they got Flesh Gorger, it's probably Blink deck. Two mana nothing though. 2 mana nothing I can get behind. So we'll take another one. And we'll play our Novice Inspector. Yeah, we never get to go first with Hopeless Nightmare. It's always second or, you know, first without Nightmare. Our opponent always lands turn 1 Duress or Nightmare on me. Feels like this deck is definitely choosing its players. 3 mana nothing though. 3 mana nothing is not what I expected. I can't Avarice actually, because this is a colored mana. So I guess what I will have to do is Liliana him. What am I discarding? Alright, if I Liliana him to discard a card, what am I discarding? I can Guardian to bounce my Novice Inspector. Let's see if he wants to kill it first. Alright, it does cut down. Which means I will Liliana him. I will discard a card.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
Probably discard a Guardian. Avarice is 3 card. I can't really afford to drop that, right? Guardian is good, but I have nothing to flicker right now.
I'm tired of your secrets.
If I draw another land, I'll be able to do something. But I need to draw another land. What the heck? Okay. Does he have a edict? There's a stick. There's a stick and I have 1 Planeswalker on the board, so it's probably an edict. No, get lost. Okay.
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish.
Whatever.
After all.
Tap land. Surveil. Also tap land. So, not playing anything else, right? I might have a 1-drop to be fair. Sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. So, not a 1-drop. Okay. I can stop most of his cards, so I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just kind of 1 turn behind here. He has to bring something back. Oh, the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. The Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. What does this do? Creature tokens. So I just gotta stop that from happening. Takes 7 to do this. I have to do it right now, right? Yes. I'll sack. Do I want to sack my Hopeless Nightmare to fix my draws? Does it really fix? No. Alright, if I get a Pixie, I do want to bounce the Nightmare against this 1 card. Alright, he reanimates it again. I'm kind of screwed. He doesn't reanimate it again, so that's good for me. Discard your last card. And give me a clue, please. Is it a kill spell? Bitter Triumph. Okay. I could write it, but no. No need. At the moment. In a temporary lockdown. He's got 1 card left. Can Avarice for 3 cards. I do want another Hostile Negotiator, right? But the Shieldred definitely can give me the life I need. Braids also gives me... No, Braids will just probably get removed. Oh, like I really want Shieldred here, but I don't know if I can justify having a Shieldred. I am at 10, right? Just by doing this. Now I'll go to 6 to take out his last card. Ha! Atraxa. He wants to discard that. Alright, just draw and discard. It is a 3-2. How do I stop at 3-2? I guess I can, huh? The Investigator can block the 3-2. I guess there's that. You know what? Let's play the Investigator first. It doesn't discard, but we can see what we draw here. Avarice. I want that card. Let me fill out the curve, right? Scry 2 here. Liliana is even better. Alright, it's a fortress.
Credit when we win.
Now we gotta turn the corner.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Don't want to thin out his deck. We have a Field of Ruin against the Restless Fortress if he wants to turn that live. What the heck does this do? Enters the battlefield with 3+1. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1. Colorless gnome artifact equal to its power. Alright. So we can lock down. Well, we have a lot of lockdown, so we can definitely lock down. I can also sack the lockdown. Right? I can sack the lockdown to kill the 3-phone Thunderhulk. Is that worth it? I think so. Start another lockdown. I can do that trick again next turn. Right, I can do that trick next turn and then he would be dead. So let's see what he can get. Collector's Vault. Does not work because he draws and discards it right away. GG. Haha! I guess. Scrappy, but we can get it done. Alright, our opponent is... Wow. Dude, that is a terrible avatar. I cannot see the words at all. For Lowski, we gotta go first. We do have Nightmare, but no Pixie. That's fine. Having a Nightmare turn 1 is already insanely lucky. I've never got to do that with this deck, funny enough. It's been done to me several times. Alright. It is a artifact deck. Blue-eye artifact. Toss out a blade. Does nothing. Oh look, I have no lands. It's the second game in a row where I get mana screwed on a play. Like, you want to be on a play, you get to be on a play. Good luck. It's probably got a counterspell coming. You know, if you use a counterspell on a Hopeless Nightmare, that's basically I'd make him discard a Hopeless Nightmare. He discards a land. I wish I have those lands, you know? Imagine drawing lands and playing the game. Temporary lockdown? That is real good for me. Oh, he has no idea how good that is for me. Do I need a Guardian? I don't think so, right?
No more distractions.
Also, don't need a temporary... I do need a temporary lockdown against this deck. You never know, I might need it. Legendary artifact. What does this do? Tap 5, right? He has no 5. Okay, so do we blade him first? We can lock down first as well. So next turn I can blade and Braids. If I draw a land, only if I draw a land, right? So I don't think it matters too much. I could also Braids and make him discard a card. But what am I sacking here?
I'm tired of your secrets.
No more lies. Okay, where else are you going? There's so many cards. 5 lands. My stone, weak stone. Draws 2 cards. We get rid of 1 of those cards. Oh. Yeah. 3 steps. What am I even thinking? Scar your land? Just do it.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
We'll sack the blade. Oh, GG. He's facing the Lily ultimate and he just quits. Makes sense. Alright, our opponent is the Robo Slinger. Ah, jeez. Alright, it's probably some aggro deck. We get to go first, but no removal going first. Fine. Let's see what we can do. If it Kumano's turn 1, I can't even stop it. Not an aggro. Did not expect that. Also got no place, so we'll see what happens. Bronco. Go Broncos. What the frickin' do? Alright. Blade him. I'm gonna play off curve a lot. Game to go first is nice, but I wish I can capitalize on that in one of these games. Fortress, underdog. Cool. Sack it. I guess he can start blitzing his underdog at me. I'm okay with that. Does not hurt that much. He doesn't blitz his underdog at me. He's got 4 mana. Does he want to remove? A get loss. Hey, that's real good, right? I mean, I can Braids, but then he could just killed my. Well, he's probably having a removal spell anyways. The question is, do I Braids here or do I Shield right here? And the answer is, I will Braids here. Not even gonna use it on Braids. This is better. It's free cards. I have a Takenuma, right? The reason why I chose to... I'll take the 3. Yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, the reason why I chose to play Braids instead of Shieldred is because if he does happen to kill Braids, I can Takenuma it back, and I definitely want to have Braids out first. Before Shelly. Shelly is out too. Take 3. End turn. I'll sack another one of the tokens that you gave me. Thank you very much. And I can start sacking lands. He's already at 9. I can definitely start sacking lands. Okay, he's got some instant speed removal. Probably get lost. Does he have 2 white? He does have 2 white, so he might have Emperor. Right? So if he has Emperor, what do I do? Do I just send the Fortress at him? Let's do it. Send the Fortress at his Emperor. If he plays the Emperor on a Fortress, I think that's a plus. I think that'll be a win. Cut down. Alright. Not much of a win, but I'll take it. Sack a swamp. You wanna sack a land? No, it lets me draw. Okay. Dead. GG. Didn't run into his Emperor. That's important. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen all those games, how did you feel about this deck? I have to say, right, when I was talking about the Hopeless Nightmare into the Pixie combo, it seems great. Never worked. I've never gotten the Hopeless Nightmare turn 1 and Pixie turn 2 into another Hopeless Nightmare. None of the games I played that ever happened, and this deck definitely suffers from the play gold conundrum, because if we're on the play, it seems not that bad because we have tempo, we can press that tempo. If we're on the draw, our opponent has tempo and we can never get it back because we have no instant speed interaction. We have no tricks up our sleeves. We just play, and if our opponent is a good player, they'll just outplay us, and that's unfortunate, right? There's no go for the throat. There is no removal of any kind in instant speed. So we have to kill things at sorcery speed. And if our opponent has haste creatures, we just can't handle them. And there's so many haste creatures in the current metagame. Anyone know a card named Slickshot? Yeah. So that's what I feel about this deck, right? I don't like it. I can't say it's bad just because because I don't win as much with it does not mean it's a bad deck. But the fact that it has no instant speed interaction makes me feel like it's a bad deck. makes me feel like it's a bad deck for me to play. It's best way to put it, right? And the idea of this deck is very Hearthstone-like. You play your cards, your opponent play their cards, and you just, swing and see who wins. And yeah, it's not how we typically play Magic. And the way we play Magic is because we want to catch our opponent off guard on their turn with a trick, a combat trick, a counter spell, a burn spell, a trick. And then on our turn, then we can press that tempo advantage back against our opponent, right? Turn the corner, if you will, with a control deck. We can never turn the corner with this deck. You either have the tempo, you keep going, or you don't have the tempo and you fall behind. And the worst thing about this is because we don't have any instant speed tricks, our opponent can turn the corner against us. And now we have to really think about how to stop our opponent from turning the corner. Another thing I really don't like about this deck is that it really dives into the discard synergy. And you see it on a few of the games, right? It dives into discard synergy with Hopeless Nightmare and Hostile Investigator and a little bit of Liliana, right? Make our opponent discard, which might seem good until you start facing opponents who are, Reanimator decks. And if they're Reanimator decks, making them discard helps them. And now they got cards in their graveyard that they can just bring back if they have a good top deck. And guess what? In Arena, opponent always has better top deck than us. So that's how I feel about this deck. It's definitely not. I don't want to say it's not a bad deck. It's definitely not a deck that cannot win. Right? That's the best way to put it. It definitely can get wins. It can put up numbers, and it can definitely get you to Mythic if you want to just crank this out. But one thing I do want to say is it's not an enjoyable experience to play because you don't get to interact with your opponent. You just sit there and hope that your opponent doesn't do anything on their turn that's too crazy. Otherwise, you just hope that it doesn't kill you. That's not how I like to play, but some people like that. Now, if you are used to mono red and you're used to Boros aggro and you want to try a control deck, try this deck. It's something like that where you don't have to think too much and just hope that your deck curves out. Definitely, if you're lucky, get Hopeless Nightmare into Nurturing Fairy and you get to go first every game, you will win 90% of the games. That's a crazy start, but I've never gotten those crazy start in all the games I've played, so that's why I don't like this deck. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.